Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Hello to everybody in the chat this morning. We've got a lot to discuss today. Some fears around what's going on with Bitcoin right now and some really bullish altcoins to discuss as well. So really exciting stuff coming here. Let's first of all check in with the price of Bitcoin. We're looking at $67,610, up 1.14% within the last 24 hours. And for Ethereum, we are up a nice 4.4% to $3,950. Looks like we could be attacking that $4,000 level today for Ethereum. So fingers crossed. And we are seeing it surge against Bitcoin if we take a look at the charts there. In fact, I've not even pulled up TradingView for today's stream. That would be a brilliant start to today's stream. Let's get this in. So let's pull up the Ethereum Bitcoin chart and see what's been going on there. It's given us it for us. So you can see that we have seen this rally within the start of today. If we go to the daily chart, nice green candle here. On the hourly chart, we are seeing a little bit of a pullback, but so far, Ethereum has been pumping. We've been retesting those higher levels. We did reach as high as, let's see how high we got as high as 3,955, which definitely isn't bad. I would love to see us reach $4,000 today, but we have to be aware that it is Friday, so maybe we are starting to see some sideways action before next week starts to really kick in. On the daily chart, really not looking too bad though, and the same for Bitcoin. If we pull this up, on the daily chart, another green candle is currently being printed. Hopefully it continues that way for the rest of the day. We did see a little bit of a pullback and maybe we could be looking to retest some all-time highs next week. Fingers crossed. It would be very, very nice to see. Let's take a look at what's going on here in terms of altcoins though. So Rune is up 26% within the last 24 hours. Qcoin's token is up 13%, whilst FTX's token FTT is down 4.5%. I see this as a meme coin right now. NEAR is down over 4% as well. So some fluctuations in the markets, but the majority of the tokens are green right now. Matic is up 2.23%. So we are seeing some nice movements. And Doge is up almost 10% as well as SHIB. So very nice price action here. We'll continue through that and see. Let's continue on to the news now though and see what's been going on in the space, because I am slightly concerned about the Bitcoin price right now. Although we are seeing this green candle, we have something to be concerned about. So let's get on to that today. But before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, and I'd appreciate it if you tune in with us every single weekday. This is the last one of the week, so make sure to stay tuned until the very end. Hello, Jason. Hello, Bikeman. Hello, PG. Hello, Ockets. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I very much appreciate it. Let's take a look at what this concerning factor is for Bitcoin, though, and that is the liquidation heat map. So this allows us to see where there would be a huge amount of liquidations if the Bitcoin price were to touch specific price points. Now, we all know Bitcoin likes to take the path of most pain, so when we see a huge amount of liquidations, we can see that it's acting like a magnet for the Bitcoin price. Here, we can see there is a huge amount of liquidations in a full range from 66,600 to 66,350. So with that in mind, I'm very nervous about what could happen with the Bitcoin price today. That's a strong magnet down below us, which could create Bitcoin to see some sort of pull to the downside. Now, we do have some liquidations above at $67,880, and we do have some at $68,000. They've kind of got weaker over the last 24 hours. So the real magnet that we're looking at here is to the downside. As I said on yesterday's stream, when we are in the scenario where we have liquidations both above and below, it's not uncommon to see Bitcoin wick both. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some short rally to the upside to liquidate those short traders here, and then see that move to the downside where we liquidate those long traders there. I would not be shocked at all, because Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. So this is just my warning to you that we do have a magnet there. We won't definitely hit it, but it's a strong one. It is a strong one that we need to take into account for today and the rest of the weekend. If we take a look at the fear and greed index as well, this doesn't make me feel overly positive when it's at 81. So we are in the extreme greed category right now, showing that we should be feeling a little bit fearful, but it's hard not to feel bullish in these markets right now, isn't it? I mean, when we're looking at the Bitcoin price, we're just seeing it go up and up and up. We're seeing Bitcoin ETFs reach all-time highs in terms of their inflows, in terms of their volumes. It's so hard to not be bullish on the markets right now. I am bullish on what's happening here. I'm just cautious in terms of that short-term price action when it comes to those liquidation levels there and that fear and greed index there as well. So changes are coming to the markets. I mean, I would love to see us break through the all-time high next week. I think it is a likely scenario, but I think we do need to be aware that we are capable of 20-30% pullbacks in a bull market. We don't know when that's going to happen. I'm saying I don't expect it to happen next week, but it could do. There's always the possibility there with Bitcoin. And right now we are 42 days away from the Bitcoin halving, so getting closer and closer to that event, which has historically triggered huge bull markets in the cryptocurrency space. So it'd be really nice to see this finally get over the line. I can't wait for the day to finally come. We've been speaking about this for years now. This event is what pulled us through the Bitcoin bear market. This event is known to be the catalyst for the bull market. And if this event didn't exist, it would have been very hard to keep our hopes up during that bear market. So very excited to see that it's getting closer and closer there. But let's take a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency news. First of all, we are going to talk about Solana here because it has hit a 2-year high on possibility of Pantera buying $250 million worth of Sol from FTX. So let's run through the history of Solana and how we've even got here. So Solana really came out of nowhere in the previous cycle. So many people were talking about it, and it went from being a small coin to in the top 20 cryptocurrencies very quickly. There were a couple of problems with the Solana network during this period of time because we did see it have quite a fair few amount of outages, and this did create some concerns around the network, but we could all still feel bullish about it because the actual technology for Solana is really interesting. How it uses proof of history and how it actually works is really interesting, and that at the time made me bullish on Solana. Then it had a couple of outages. It maybe pushed some people out of the space, but it built this really strong community. Now, I actually did sell my Solana during the bull market. It's not something I was holding on to. But one thing we did see is FTX accumulate a huge amount of these tokens. Now, when FTX collapsed, Solana absolutely tanked. In fact, we can pull the Solana price up now and show you. You can clearly see on the Solana chart when FTX collapsed. If we go to the daily chart and we zoom out here, this is the FTX collapse. It's as clear as day. I mean, FTX dropped significantly over the week. So it was trading as high as $37. And after 4 days, we were down at 66%, down to $12.47. So significant amounts there. And it did continue to plummet to $8, down at 78% within a couple of weeks. And it was absolutely insane to see that price action there. FTX held a huge amount of Solana. So people were saying, look, FTX is down. They need the liquidity. They need the cash. They're going to need to sell these tokens at some point in time. So it caused a lot of bearish pressure. However, Solana then started pumping. A community has been built. The ecosystem has had projects developing on it. And it's been doing very well since. Now, we did see one outage a couple of weeks ago. The strange thing after that was that Sol, not FTX. Solana did start pumping after the FTX crash, even though FTX hold a huge amount of Solana tokens. And then Solana had an outage a couple of weeks ago, and Solana still pumped. So I'm very cautious with this project because it's doing what it shouldn't really be doing. It's got a very strong community. It's got an ecosystem of projects. It's got a lot of VC investment, and it's defying all odds. It's had a lot of bearish periods in its time, but it's managed to pump its way through them, which is just bizarre. So that's where we're up to now, and Solana is now at $149, creating a 2-year high. So we've not seen this price action since back in January 2022. We are in the kind of the peak bull market area for Solana, which is absolutely insane. Let's see what's going on here in this article, though. So we are seeing the potential that FTX's tokens will be sold to Pantera, meaning that we won't see that open selling pressure in the markets. So Solana underwent a massive rally on Thursday, hitting a 25-month peak of $149. The knee-jerk reaction to its price is attributed to Bloomberg's report stating that, hold on, let me fix this, stating that Pantera Capital is seeking to raise funds for a Solana fund that will buy approximately $250 million in Solana tokens from the estate of the bankrupt FTX exchange. So that selling pressure and that concern there kind of goes out the window if this does come to fruition. Jonathan says in the chat, Crypto Man said we should buy at $8. I didn't listen and now I'm poor lol. I mean, we can't catch every opportunity in this space. I was also not in the camp that Solana would perform like it has done. I'm still not invested in the project. I think there's others that I'm more comfortable to invest into given its history. But it has a brilliant community. It has a brilliant ecosystem, and the hype around that network is absolutely insane. And I do think it's invested in by a lot of VC investors as well. Marion says, good morning and happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. I didn't know it was Women's Day today. Happy Women's Day to every woman in the chat. Although I don't think there's a single woman in the chat, let's be honest. Let's see what's going on here. Monkey Nuts 176 says, Bruce, how's it going, bro? Hello, Bruce. We've not seen you in the chat for a while. Hello, thank you very much for tuning back in with us. Monkey Nut says, hi, Jess. Hi, chat. Jason Smith says, if it's tracking towards fear on the index, then it is sometimes a good opportunity to sell your profits and get an opportunity to buy a small dip, potentially. Jonathan says, you just go online randomly. We do these live streams at midday now. Midday every single day. Today I was about 6 minutes late, but still it's midday. That's when the streams tend to be happening now, so we're sticking with that. Randy says, I hit the like button. Did you? Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, and we need your help to get to 10,000 subscribers because it's not easy. We've been doing these live streams since we were at $16,000 Bitcoin, and we still don't have 4,000 subscribers yet. So if you can help us on that goal to get to 10,000 subscribers, please do and hit that button. We are currently on 3.99k and we really want to get over that 4,000 subscriber mark, so please make sure to help us with that mission. Let's see what's going on in terms of the rest of the cryptocurrency news, though. So Solana has gained value since FTX went bankrupt. Solana could hit $200 according to this analyst, and some people are very, very bullish on the future of that protocol. I mean, it's an interesting time. I think some VC investors have got something to do with some of the most recent pumps, but it's all speculation there. Let's see what's going on here. Jonathan says, I hopped on at noon and nothing. Well, it's like waiting for a date. ZZ in the house. All right, lass. Let's see what's going on here. Jason Smith says, once upon a time, I heard someone say to buy Ether £88 each. My only regret is that I didn't buy more. We can have regrets in this space. We always can. But who were we to know at that time that it was worth investing into? You have to do your own research, and it takes time to do that before you can get super bullish on the space. People don't just blindly invest in things like this. So it's understandable. But we're all in the space now, and that is what's most important. We are in the space now when we are just creating new all-time highs, pre-halving. Very exciting things to come, in my opinion. So we can't hate ourselves too much that we went in earlier. We could always be in earlier, but we're here now, and that's the most important thing. A lot of people still aren't here now. Rob says, hey, I hit the like. We'll have to listen to later, though. Have a nice weekend. You too, Rob. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much for that support. Dale says, just subbed in. Happy to find your channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Jonathan says, why is BNB flying? Let's take a look at that. Monkey Nuts says, where's Randy? I don't know. Where is Randy? Randy, come back into the live chat, please. Let's take a look at what's going on with BNB here. Absolutely insane price action. We are seeing on the daily chart that it pumped significantly yesterday. Altcoins are just really pumping right now. I mean, since that wick to the downside, BNB is up 33%. I want to know if any of you managed to get in on that wick the other day, because it was such a good opportunity. And I was not on my computer. and I missed it, and I've been waiting for an opportunity like that. I'm absolutely gutted. So Bitcoin, please give me another one. Please, I need it. Let's see what's going on here. Bruce says, I have found exchange token have given quite a good return. Yeah, there are some tokens out there, possibly. Let's see what's going on here. ZZ says, are you short on Bitcoin? Copy trading Jordan. I don't have the balls. I am not. I do not short, first of all. I never ever short. Well, no, I have occasionally shorted, but not in a bull market. It's just against my morals. I don't like to short Bitcoin. I like to long Bitcoin. I understand that sometimes it's the opportunity to make money, but it's just, I like to always position myself with at the least amount of emotions possible. And if I'm in a short position, I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, I'm a nervous wreck watching the price chart continuously. So I prefer to be long. So I prefer to wait for a pullback and long rather than hope there's a pullback. I don't want to hope there's a pullback. I don't want there to be a pullback. I want to go up forever. So I'm not shorting Bitcoin. I understand why people do. I mean, some people trade every single day, but I don't really trade every single day. So no, I am not shorting Bitcoin right now. I think there is potential for there to be resistance at this price point, but I don't think it will be significant enough for me to enter a short position. Let's see. And also, I don't know if I'll be fast enough on the ball. Did you see the last time we saw that move to the downside? It was a matter of minutes. Let's pull this up. BTC USDT. If we see something similar, then we did here, I'm not gonna be able to confirm that I will be in front of the markets when we see that wick to the downside. Taking profits could always, like, take profit orders in is a strategy to deal with that. But I'm just not interested to short right now. I'm really not. And I'm happy with what's going on. Yes, I see this potential for a pullback, potentially down to $66,350. But if we go from here, $66,350, what's that? That's down 1.5%. So if I put $1,000 on the trade, on a 10x trade, that's $10,000. What's that calculation? $10,000 times 1.0155. And then I want to minus $9,000. So that would make me $155. And that's just, no, I don't think that's the reward risk ratio there is worth it particularly. Obviously, everything is your choice. You can make your own decisions. Nothing is financial advice. I'm not saying don't believe Jordan. I'm just saying I'm not putting my money on a move to the downside right now, because I never put my money on a move to the downside. I like to buy, and I like to buy when there's a dip, and I don't like to be shorting. That's just my strategy. We all have different strategies. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. That should be everybody's strategy to help the channel grow. Let's see what's going on here. Bruce says, I have BNB. Monkey Nut says, there's no fun in pullbacks. There is fun in pullbacks. We like a pullback. When there's a pullback, there's an opportunity. I just don't like to bet that there will be a pullback, because when it comes, it will come. And I don't want to beg for it to happen now. It will happen when it happens. Let's see what's going on here. ZZ says, feel your pain, Jonathan. Sold ETH in the last bull market at 800. Purchased at 200. That's a really good return. That's a 4x return. I know we can always look at the cryptocurrency space and say, oh, but I missed out on that opportunity. There's always opportunities we are going to miss. This is crypto. There's opportunities left, right, and center in the bull market. But we cannot take advantage of all of them. We would be so over diversified. It just cannot happen. And we cannot always perform at the optimum scenario, so we need to just be happy with our profits. A 4x return is absolutely insane. Jonathan says, get your limit buys set, Jess. We'll go halves on the profit. I don't think that's how it works, Jonathan. I don't think that's how it works. And to be honest, I just buy when there's a dip and I have cash to buy. If we do see a big dip, I will be looking to put on a leverage trade, but that will be the maximum of my entries unless I get more cash in the meantime to buy more, because I've already bought. Peter Dell says, hello, Jess. Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. Bruce says, I bought BNB because of Launchpad, but now not available in Australia anymore. Very frustrating. All of the regulation everywhere makes it slightly difficult. Randy is in the chat. Hello, Randy. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, we were wondering where you'd been. Jonathan says, hi, Randy. I'm Randy too. Monkey Magic says, Pulse Chain ecosystem pumping hard this week. We can take a look. Pulse Chain's pretty interesting one. Hex. Let's see what's going on there. Hex USDT. Nice price action. On the hourly chart, at least on the daily chart, this is crazy. This is crazy. Why does it look like that? I don't like that. Why does it look like that? Breakout. It looks like it could be a breakout. It could be a massive wick. Like, that's so wicky. And that's so pumpy. Why does it pump like that? Jonathan says it is with a VPN. I can't comment. Peter Dell says, Jess, at least you have dot on the top rather than SHIB. Yeah, we're changing that around. We're changing that around every day so we can see the different price action. But I think it'd be better to have... Oh, you can see the percentage changes on the daily. Okay, I like that. That's nice. Let's see what's going on in here. Jonathan says, Jess, reading the comments. I always read the comments. I never read the comments. I think as a professional YouTuber, people probably read the comments in their head before they read them out loud, but I do not do that. So sometimes I read out a comment and I think probably shouldn't have said that. Crypto G says, if Bitcoin hits 100k this month, I'll take you for dinner, lol. Monkey, see, I've just done it again. And then you get an awkward laugh after that instead. Monkey Nut says, congratulations on joining the team, Randy. There's a massive sell wall to eat through, says Monkey Magic. Let's take a look at what's going on with some cryptocurrency news here today, because again, we've been on the stream for a very long time and we haven't even started on the stream here. I love that you don't look. I'm trying to. Oh, before I read the comments, let's take a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency news now, because we do need to get onto that. If you have not already, make sure to head to the CSE merch store and get yourself some Crypto Saving Expert merch. I absolutely love it. We've got mugs. What else have we got? I've got a huge pile of it behind me, but it's in a very organized pile. You can get t-shirts. You can get hoodies on pre-sale, or maybe they've already launched. They were available on pre-sale. I think they should have gone live by now. We've got Bitcoin LED lights that look very, very nice. I've just said that, and somebody's going to tell me, why isn't it behind you? Because I was promising I'd put it behind me for a very long time, and I didn't do it. But it's somewhere in this room. We also sell Bitcoin wax melts, so you can make your room smell nice whilst looking at the Bitcoin logo. These smell really nice. This is the scent Chad, my absolute favorite, and we sell obviously the wax melters as well. So you light the candle there and it melts the wax and it smells lovely. So make sure to check those out if you haven't already, and you can get the same scent in your car air fresheners as well. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Bruce says the caps are great. Jason Smith says CSE merch with international shipping. Yep, I think we do ship worldwide, Mr. Worldwide. Jonathan says, I come for Jess reading the comments. Mission Possible says, my favorite voice. Jonathan says, you and Jordan are going hard on naturally lately. Do you know what? No one's told me to speak about the merch. I just looked in front of me and thought we should talk about it, because I'm using my CSE mug for my coffee this morning. I don't have any coffee left, because every time we go on a stream, I go and make my coffee and then I sit and watch it go cold for the entire stream. So I gave myself 10 minutes before today's stream so I could actually enjoy it rather than waiting for it to go cold. Let's see what's going on here. Let's continue through the chat. J-Man says, hey Jess, it's so cool to hear that you're... see, I just keep reading the chat without reading. I think I'm meant to read it in my head first. I think that's the mistake I've made. Randy says, yes, I'm enjoying my Bitcoin lights. Very nice. I'm glad you're enjoying that. It looks really cool. It's like a massive Bitcoin B LED light, and you can make it flash and light up and all kinds of stuff. Jess says, Ave, please, and one favor for me, please. I can't see past the emoji. Yeah, let's take a look at Ave and see how Ave is doing. USDT. Here we go. We can pull this one up. Pumping. I mean, all the altcoin charts are starting to look the same here. If we take a look at the 4-hour chart, very, very nice price action here since that pullback down on, what day was it? On Tuesday. We are up a staggering 43%, which is absolutely insane. Bruce says, what's the news today? Let's go on to the news. People come here for the news and we end up just talking about the Bitcoin price and the altcoin prices. First of all, Robert Kiyosaki is saying Bitcoin could hit $300,000 this year. absolutely insane. He's warned about the biggest mistake of procrastinating in acquiring Bitcoin. So Japanese-American businessman Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sure everybody in the chat has read this book. This is like the first book you read when you want to become an entrepreneur. You know, when you decide, you know what, I'm going to be self-employed. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to take control of my finances. And then you go out and read Rich Dad Poor Dad and you're like, yeah, I've done it. I've conquered the entrepreneur mindset. And a lot of people have read that book. It is a brilliant book, actually. But it was my first book to read when I decided I wanted to be a little bit more entrepreneurial, we should say. So he has predicted, the author of that book has predicted that the price of Bitcoin will hit $300,000 this year. In a tweet on Monday, the financial guru warned about the biggest mistake of procrastinating in acquiring Bitcoin, insisting on the importance of starting immediately, even with a $500 investment. Well, we were saying that when Bitcoin was at $16,000, but Kiyosaki has been a long-term fan of Bitcoin, so we can't complain here. He's been an advocate for it for a very long time. He's been an advocate for Bitcoin, gold, and silver for a very long time, actually, which he believes are real money in contrast to fiat currencies like the US dollar, and he sees these three assets as safe havens in economic uncertainty. Bruce says, don't need to read a book, just buy crypto, lol. Well, here we are. I've read the book and bought crypto. The businessman has repeatedly reiterated his love for Bitcoin, expressing his belief in the asset's potential due to its decentralized nature. He attributed his passion for the digital asset to the fact that it is not supported or owned by the US government or the Federal Reserve, but by the people. About a week ago, the entrepreneur expressed his appreciation to Bitcoin for doing its job by kicking the fake US dollar's butt and bringing integrity back to money. He posted the tweet shortly after Bitcoin surged past $60,000 for the first time since November 2021. I always like to see Robert Kiyosaki be bullish. He's saying, look, $300,000 Bitcoin could happen this year and $500,000 Bitcoin by 2025. Absolutely insane. He said Bitcoin is on fire. Data from crypto saving expert shows the asset has gained 56% since February and more than 200% in the past year, breaking its previous all-time high of $69,000. So very nice price action here. I would love Robert Kiyosaki to be right. I would absolutely love Bitcoin to hit $500,000 next year. We'll have to see what happens there. It would be insane to see that kind of price action. Would you have taken profits along the way? Will you be able to hold on to that price? It makes me nervous. It does make me nervous because I want Bitcoin to hit that price, but also I don't want to be in an up-only mentality. I don't want to be in a super cycle mentality. I want to take profits, but I'm just nervous that I'm not going to be able to bring myself to take profits, or I'm nervous that I will take profits too soon. But taking profits is never too soon as well, because taking profit is taking profit. But it's hard. It's very hard in this market. It's easy to make money in a bull market. It's harder to keep it. Let's see what's going on here in the chat before we move on to the next article. Let's see what's going on here. So Jonathan says, but do you know what? I'm not reading that out because it's too much financial advice. Nothing is financial advice here on the channel. All just opinions. Bruce says, don't need to read. Monkey Nut says, definitely more fun this way. I do watch for the news, but this channel is fun too. Thank you very much. Peter Dell says, if Bitcoin reaches, say, 500,000 in 3 years, what does that mean for Ethereum and Solana? Well, as I said in yesterday's stream, it very much depends on the Ethereum ETFs. If I'm perfectly honest, I do think an Ethereum ETF will arrive at some point in time. Will it arrive this year is the bigger question. We've got the SEC needing to decide that by May 2023. If the SEC rejects those applications, we could see a whole new lawsuit like we did with the Bitcoin ETF applications, and it could take years before we get those Ethereum ETFs. Now, an ETF removes a barrier for entry for the asset. So with Bitcoin and Ethereum, typically Bitcoin outperforms Ethereum and then Ethereum catches up after the halving has hit. Well, just a couple of months before the halving, typically Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin. But what we're seeing here is the Bitcoin asset has to invest in Bitcoin, you can invest through the ETF, which removes the barrier to entry. So instead of Bitcoin performing really, really well against Ethereum and then Ethereum starting to take the limelight, we could see that kind of shift being a little bit less concentrated. So because Bitcoin has a way that people can invest into it easily while Ethereum hasn't, it may see money flow into it quicker than it has done in previous cycles, and therefore taking a shift in the ratio in the performance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. But if Ethereum gets an ETF across the line, then we don't need to worry about that. They both have removed that barrier to entry, and they both could see a huge amount of inflows. And when an Ethereum ETF goes live, then we could expect applicants to say, look, we want a Solana ETF, we want a Chainlink ETF, and ETFs coming in for lots of different altcoins as well. So there's a lot of opportunity here, but I think a lot stands on what happens in May. It's the 23rd of May that we're waiting for. So fingers crossed we do see something from this. I'm really hoping that we do get those ETFs accepted for Ethereum, but we do have to wait and find out, and that will determine a lot for the cryptocurrency markets this cycle, I believe. ETFs are a big deal. We've already seen that with Bitcoin, so seeing one come for Ethereum is really important. But we only have about, analysts are saying there's about 50% chance that Ethereum ETFs will actually go live, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what else is going on in the chat here. Dog with Hat Dev sold 350 million tokens before it mooned over 10,000x. That is absolutely devastating. So the Dog with Hat developer paper-handed 350 million WIF tokens for $29,000. Now the tokens would be worth over $750 million. The developer sold 350 million tokens for a meager $29,000 before it went over 10,000x. Absolutely insane. That is awful to read. The developers put in the time and effort to make this and then paper-handed it. I mean, did they not see the potential in their own token? Devastating to see. But you can also say that, look, people may have chosen to invest in it. When it comes to meme coins, it all matters. Well, the tokenomics is a crucial part to decide whether to invest in something or not. And maybe if the founder was holding so many tokens in wallet, people may not have invested into it, and maybe it wouldn't have gone as high as it did. That's the only way you can look at this with a positive outcome. That is honestly devastating to hear. They must be absolutely gutted. Meme coins pumped to over $60 billion in market cap there. We are seeing meme coins fly at the moment, with SHIB and Doge up over 10% within the last 24 hours. And we are seeing some lower cap meme coins performing very well as well. Let's take a look at what else is going on here. So in terms of the ETFs, retail are returning to crypto. BRRR hits new high inflow. So retail investors appear to be returning to crypto in droves as exchange and ETF volumes remain high. So we've been running through this within the last couple of days. Bitcoin ETFs are seeing record amounts of inflows. They're seeing high volumes, and it's really, really great to see. In fact, in South Korea, we are seeing such a big demand for Bitcoin that its value in dollars is higher than it is in the US. We are seeing the return of the kimchi premium. So this is where you can buy Bitcoin for $68,000 in the US, or whatever price it is now. What price are we at? $67,600. And then you can actually sell it for $72,000 in South Korea. And this is called the Kimchi Premium, or the Korea Premium Index. This is the arbitrage opportunity that made Sam Bankman-Fried rich, and it's back. It doesn't last forever. It's a very short period of time. When there's buying pressure in the US and selling pressure in South Korea, it will rebalance itself from those arbitrage traders, but it takes a lot of infrastructure to actually take advantage of that. You need bank accounts and exchanges in both areas, so it's not super easy to do, but some people can take advantage of it. The bigger winner yesterday appears to be Valkyrie and their Bitcoin ETF BRRR. The ETF witnessed a new highest inflow of $40.7 million, so new high inflows, daily inflows for a lot of these ETFs. We just continue to see them smashing their own highs at the moment. We have been live for almost 2 months now, and we're still seeing really positive impacts coming from those ETFs. So brilliant to see there. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Jason Smith says, sounds like the 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza story. It does. Dylan Fowler said he must be sick as a dog with hat. I like that. Peter Dell says, I might get a coin made up called WTF coin. Well, people are silly enough to buy rubbish. Dylan says there already is one. There's so many meme coins out there, it's unbelievable. And there's so many meme coins with the same name as well. And I find that really difficult, because I always hear, like, for example, what example have I got here? When Twitter changed its name, when Elon Musk changed the name of Twitter from Twitter to X, there were altcoins called X that were performing really well. But there's like 20 tokens called X that perform really well, and normally only one of them really meets like that gets the general attention. It's like, how do you know when you've already got the idea that yes, a token called X could perform now? How do you know which one to pick? It's so difficult, the meme coin market. It's not my forte at all. Let's see. Jonathan says you should always start the stream with the starting soon placeholder for 10 or 20 minutes before you start. 10 or 20 minutes? I think I'd get abuse here on the channel. People don't like that at all. But I need it there in the start of the stream. It helps me get all set up. Let's see what's going on here. Lots of people talking about different altcoins in the chat. Let's go through the latest cryptocurrency news. But before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Peter Dell says Bitcoin hit $103 here in Australia. Australian dollars, they confuse me. When I came to Australia, I felt like everything was free because it was like it was like double the GBP price, so everything was like, you'd go and get a coffee and it'd be like $10, but it actually would only be £5, and then it would feel like you were making a saving. So I was just buying everything I saw because I was like, well, it's 50% off, but it was actually quite expensive to stay out there for a long time. So don't make that mistake. Let's take a look at what's going on here. SpaceX holds 8,290 Bitcoin, according to a report. The company reportedly holds a few thousand Bitcoin less than Tesla. So on Thursday, blockchain data firm Arkham Intelligence posted to X to inform users that Tesla and SpaceX wallets were now identified on the platform. SpaceX holds 8,290 Bitcoin, and Tesla holds around 11,510 Bitcoin. So really nice to see that they are holding on. Now, there's been, unlike Tesla, SpaceX is a private company and is not obligated to report its financials, so this has not been announced by the company itself. However, the wallets have been identified by the on-chain analysts there, and in the past, Elon Musk revealed that the company owned Bitcoin, but unlike Tesla, it did not produce transparent quarterly reports, so we don't know how much, but to see that it's a high number is really, really good. When Elon Musk backs something with confidence, it gets people involved, and that's what we want to see at the end of the day. We want to see adoption. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Peter Dell says, let's all give our host Jess a clap for having us here and teaching us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got 44 people watching on today's stream on YouTube, and we've only got 28 likes, so please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. In terms of subscribers, we are on 3,999, so if you are not yet a subscriber, please help us reach that 4,000 goal and press that button. Let's see if we can get the live follower count up so we can see this change. I don't know if I can share this with the stream. We are on 3,999. Please, somebody hit that subscribe button and help us get over the line there. Let's see what else is going on with the cryptocurrency space. Is this Saylor's long-term plan for MicroStrategy and Bitcoin? Michael Saylor's conviction cannot be shaken, but could his long-term plan be a masterpiece? MicroStrategy have acquired 193,000 Bitcoin to date. This puts MicroStrategy in over 100% realized profits on its investments because their average entry point is around $31,544. In other news, though, we have just hit 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to that person that hit that subscribe button and got us over the line. We very much appreciate it on the channel. Now, nobody is allowed to subscribe and take us down to 3.99k again. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. But that deserves a cheer. That was a huge success. We finally hit the goal. Thank you so much for whoever has just subscribed and got onto the channel, and I'll make sure to tune in every single day. We do these live streams every single day. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So MicroStrategy are buying a huge amount of Bitcoin. 193,000 Bitcoin has been purchased at an entry price of $31,544. They are in over 100% unrealized profit, and now the company wants to raise $700 million. And this is to buy even more Bitcoin. So the former CEO and now executive chairman, Michael Saylor, has been saying he's not going to be selling Bitcoin, has no plans to sell Bitcoin, only has plans to buy more Bitcoin. So very nice to see this announcement here. On Thursday, that Martini guy posted a thread on what he believes could be Saylor's big brain plan to see MicroStrategy at the epicenter of the company's Bitcoin standard. Saylor still owns 10% of MicroStrategy stock, which is listed on the NASDAQ there. And what we are seeing here, let's get the intro music pulled up again. Let's see what TMG has stated here. So for years, MicroStrategy has been using company profits and debt to acquire its mountains of Bitcoin. The company took out loans in US dollars, which Bitcoin outperforms. And TMG has tweeted, take new loans against the increase in price Bitcoin to pay off old loans until the value of the Bitcoin has risen so high you can sell just a few MicroStrategy shares to cover remaining debts. Very interesting to see here. Now, TMG has then stated Saylor's next move could be for MicroStrategy to join the S&P 500. Now, for it to do that, it needs to reach a certain market cap. When it's double its current size, it will be impossible to leave out of the S&P 500 there. And then when MicroStrategy joins the S&P 500, it will gain free and instant demand for its stock, giving it a huge boost in price, because the S&P 500 is a collection of the top 500 US stocks. And it's just a fund that holds all of those stocks. Now, if MicroStrategy can get itself in that list, it means that more people will be investing into it because it's in that fund, and they can see people investing and they can use that investment to buy more Bitcoin. He then stated that MicroStrategy could begin acting as a proxy for Bitcoin ownership due to the company's significant position in the asset. So keeping the wheel turning, TMG then noted that Saylor and MicroStrategy do not need to sell Bitcoin to pay off its debt. MicroStrategy can be used to acquire more debt using stock as collateral due to its soaring value. If Bitcoin continues to increase, it is applicable to suggest that MicroStrategy will mirror the price action. MicroStrategy as a business does not make around $900 million profit per year from existing business. Use MicroStrategy profit to pay off the loans you took against the stock, reducing company's tax implications. Could this be the Saylor's master plan? 100%, I believe so. I believe this is 100% possible. When we're looking at what's going on here, they are buying a huge amount of Bitcoin. And they are raising funds to buy more Bitcoin because they believe that Bitcoin is far superior to other assets and will outperform the dollar. So paying back those loans won't be too difficult if their plan is in use. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Jonathan says, my YouTube is glitching. I'm 5 minutes behind now. You'll have to stay tuned until the very end anyway, Jonathan. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Peter Dell says 4,000 subs. Nice. We've got 4,003 subscribers now. So thank you very much to everybody who has just hit that subscribe button. Peter Dell says, I wonder what the market cap will be in 3 years for Bitcoin. It's interesting. It's so interesting because the Bitcoin ETFs have created a huge amount of inflow for the cryptocurrency's price. But will there be another bear market? I do believe so. Jonathan says some channels have notifications 30 minutes before they go live and you can set a reminder. They do, but I don't know how sometimes YouTube sends them out and sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, YouTube is a minefield. Monkey Nuts 176, what's Saylor going to buy when the supply of Bitcoin runs out? Moral is a smart man, says Jonathan. Monkey Nuts, when the Bitcoin supply runs out, I don't think it'll run out as such. There will always be a seller. There will always be people looking to sell their Bitcoin, but they won't be able to buy as frequently and as many as they have been doing at this point in time. I do believe there is the opportunity for a supply crunch within the next within the next 18 months, I think, because we are seeing ETFs buy up 10 times the amount of Bitcoin that's being added into circulation every day. In just 42 days, we are going to see that double, where ETFs are buying up around 11,000 Bitcoin per day, and miners will be only making about 450 Bitcoin per day. So there's a huge discrepancy there, and we are seeing Bitcoin fly away from exchanges as well. Peter says, Jess, are you scared the bull market might be shorter than usual? Slightly. And I want to be making sure that I'm taking profits earlier than I had originally planned. But taking profits in this market is so hard. Let's see what's going on in the next article here. Moving on. So one for the nomads, Travala is offering Bitcoin rewards as cashback. The travel company is adding Bitcoins to its cashback options. According to a report, Travala.com is introducing a cashback program that will see Bitcoin as the currency. The scheme will undoubtedly catch the eye of crypto nomads around the globe. Travala made the announcement exclusively with Cointelegraph. The Bitcoin reward program will be available to those who have unlocked the Smart Diamond tier on the platform. Bitcoin is here to stay, and it's now becoming more appealing to mainstream audiences thanks to the recent approval of the Bitcoin ETFs, says the Travala CEO. So the Bitcoin rewards will be credited to the user's accounts within 24 hours of booking a trip via the platform. Now, users can put the Bitcoin towards other bookings or withdraw to an external address when the rewards arrive. Cointelegraph reported that Bitcoin is one of the top 3 payment methods for booking trips on Travala, accounting for roughly 9% of the bookings. In 2023, users spent over $5 million in Bitcoin on Travala to book trips and activities. So absolutely insane that Bitcoin is actually being used to make purchases. I mean, I personally don't use my Bitcoin to make purchases. I'm hodling my Bitcoin, but it's nice to see that people are actually using it to make transactions. I see it more as kind of a digital gold than a payment system to use in everyday life. I don't see it as the actual currency that we use every day just because of the transaction speeds. We do have the Lightning Network and other things to fasten that up, but at the moment, I think it's more kind of like a reserve currency, one that can back our day-to-day currencies, like we've seen historically with gold in the world. But let's carry on with the next article into here and see what is happening. The Philippine crypto ban begins. Binance avoid ban as yet. So the Philippine crackdown on unlicensed crypto exchanges has begun, with several unlicensed exchanges receiving bans. However, Binance is not among the banned entities despite SEC warnings. Now, I am going to skip over this article. However, I know there are some people in the chat that live out in the Philippines, so if you are, make sure to head over to cryptosavingexpert.com and check out that article for more information on that. Let's continue through here. Bitcoin ETFs will surpass gold ETFs, according to Michael Saylor. The Bitcoin bull gave his opinion on an array of topics in a sit-down chat here, and he has said, I expected the ETF launch to be successful, but I think it's quite impressive just how successful it's been. At this point, we can see that the ETFs are going to surpass gold ETFs not too long in time. Michael Saylor saying he wasn't bullish enough. If Michael Saylor wasn't bullish enough, then what am I? What are we? Saylor also noted that he believes the ETFs have initiated the bull market and Bitcoin's upwards trajectory. I 100% agree with that. The most important thing is the ETFs themselves represent regulatory clarity for Bitcoin as the institutional grade crypto asset. The surprising thing he said is, we thought that maybe Bitcoin was a competitor to gold, but it's actually ran up the leaderboard and it's now starting to nip at the heels of the S&P 500 ETFs. In one of the last topics, Bruno asked Saylor how profitable businesses can be built on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin tycoon suggested that the first factor for a laser-like focus on one particular use case and identifying the target customer. Saylor then stated businesses should choose an area of Bitcoin like a store of value, medium of exchange, or system of trust. He used Cash App as an example of a successful Bitcoin company. Jonathan says maybe Michael Saylor. I'm not sure either. But Michael Saylor being super bullish as expected. We don't expect anything less at this point. The day Michael Saylor turns bearish, I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen, but I can't see it happening. So nothing to be concerned about just yet. Otherwise, Bitcoin's hash rate hits record high after difficulty drops. The difficulty to mine Bitcoin has had a bit of a move to the downside, and that means the average hash rate, the hash rate has increased, meaning more computers are turned on trying to mine Bitcoin right now because the difficulty has slightly reduced, which is always a good thing for Bitcoin. But let's take a look at what's going on with BTC USDT. Before we close off today's stream, I do have a meeting with the team very, very soon. So I've got to be quick on this one, but what we can see here on the hourly chart is maybe we are creating some sort of level of resistance here. Maybe we are getting rejected from that on the hourly chart. We also have a level of support that's running across here. So resistance is looking at it's at $67,765, and the level of support is at around $67,000. 27,187. So I do expect a breakout of that today. However, I am obviously aware that it is the weekend coming up, so we could be in for some sideways action there. In terms of the Bitcoin price, the last thing I want to highlight, which I highlighted at the start of today's stream, is we have some key liquidation levels both above and below Bitcoin. So it could be a wicky rest of the day for Bitcoin, so just be prepared for that. Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. The path of most pain right now is to have wicks to both the upside and the downside. So I'm expecting some volatility later on in the day. But if we manage to get into the weekend without it, then we could expect that to hit on Monday morning. But that's all we have time for today. I have to go right now, so thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I hope you have enjoyed, and we will be back here on Monday. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.